entrepreneur, you don't just make decisions. You need to make decisions based on data-driven decision making. And so in order to make data-driven decisions, you need to recognize patterns. And so mentorship becomes pivotal in business for you to be able to recognize patterns in your business. All right.
Please join me in welcoming Ntsoaki Sibiya. Come on guys, let's make some noise for her.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. Okay. So the first reason that mentorship is important in your business is that it accelerates identity formation in leadership. Accelerates identity formation in leadership. All right. What that generally means is that mentorship is not just guidance for you as an entrepreneur. It shapes you as a leader. It shapes and develops you as a leader. It develops the right mindset. It develops the identity. It develops the presence that you need to run your business from a place of vision and not survival. Does that make sense? From a place of vision and not survival. Number two is that it sharpens your strategic pattern recognition. So a seasoned mentor is able to see patterns. They see patterns, not just trends. And so they are able to help you or to train you to interpret cycles and patterns. So those are brand cycles, those are sales cycles, those are product cycles. So you'll be able to interpret cycles. You'll be able to interpret customer behaviors. So you're able to come up with customer acquisition strategies. Now, the reason this is important is because as an entrepreneur, you don't just make decisions. You need to make decisions based on data. Data-driven decision making. And so in order to make data-driven decisions, you need to recognize patterns. And so mentorship becomes pivotal in business for you to be able to recognize patterns in your business. All right, so you're able to have strategic foresight. You're able to connect the dots. One thing I love to teach in the mentorship club is creating knowledge schemas, because what entrepreneurs tend to do is that when they learn things, they think they are isolated topics. But you need to learn to connect the dots, because that's how you start recognizing patterns and making those data-driven decisions to grow your business. All right, so strategic pattern recognition is number two. Number three, mentorship protects you from the illusion of momentum. We are all guilty of this, where we think movement is progress.
Stop calling us out.
Where we think that movement is progress. Movement is not necessarily progress in your business. So mentorship is going to ground you in purposeful action. It's going to ground you so that you understand that there are traps of success in your entrepreneurial journey. There are those things that make you look like you're successful, but you're not really successful. So what you want to do is to be anchored in clarity. You want to be anchored in clarity so that you are building for sustainability. Cartier mentioned it just now. Sustainability is key. So movement is not necessarily progress. So when that hype of being busy, and you think you're being successful, mentorship is able to ground you. All right. Number four, mentorship cultivates ecosystem thinking. We love to work in silos as entrepreneurs. But what mentorship is going to help you do is for you to think in ecosystems where you're developing a business model that draws on people's networks, on infrastructures, on partnerships, on collaborations. So you're not just focusing on building a product or a service, but you are focusing on building a living and connected organism. So ecosystem thinking. And number 5, mentorship embeds wisdom into decision making. Knowledge can be Googled, but wisdom cannot. And so mentorship gives you access to lived experience. The lived experience of the mentor. So that you are able to make decisions with courage, with clarity, and with maturity. It's about wisdom. The kind of depth that stops you from making costly mistakes in your business. So those are the key 5 elements that I would say why mentorship is important in business, but not just mentorship. Conscious mentorship is important in your business. And as I close, I want to leave you off with a quote. Mentorship in business is not a luxury. It is a strategic infrastructure. It doesn't just guide you, but it shapes who you become while you are building. In fact, it doesn't just guide you to build, but it shapes who you are while you are building. And the right mentor is not necessarily going to hand you the answers. The right mentor is going to expand your thinking. They are going to challenge your identity, and they're going to anchor you in wisdom. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how legacies are built. My name is Ntsoaki Sibiya, and I am your strategic guide to intentional mentorship.